The Joker wins. Fatality.
Oh man, oh boy. God of War, right? I know. God of War Part 1. And before anybody says, man, why is he playing this old ass game? I'm setting my scene here and you'll see why. So I'ma just, no further ado, I'ma just get right into it. No intro, none of that. We've all heard the expression, imitation is a form of flattery, right? But I've also noticed that imitation can also just be a lack of originality in the person that's doing the imitating. Now that's one way of going about it, when you actually give the person that you're taking ideas from credit and say, look, this is where I got the inspiration from, and that person gives you his or her blessing to do that. But this YouTube thing is getting so ridiculous, man, with all the copycat video makers out here, copycat commentators, shall I say. It's crazy. And to my man Young CEO, man, I don't know if you ever want anybody to say anything about this publicly, but I saw that video and in my eyes there's no doubt that's a blatant ripoff. That's a blatant ripoff of your Oh My God series. I don't care what he says. Go on that video and watch and look at the comment I left on that video, because man, it's like, I think I was more upset about it than he was. Seriously. And you know, all the stuff that's getting thrown around with the whole T Martin Raw Instinct deal. Now me personally, I don't care for any of these bigger YouTubers, with the exception of a couple I'll watch because they're actually entertaining. But I don't watch T Martin videos. I've never even heard of Raw Instinct until all this stuff came out and came about. So if I saw him or if I heard his voice, I wouldn't even know who he was. So with that being said, imitation being a form of flattery yet again, I think there's a lot of lack of originality, man, that people are just taking ideas from other channels and thinking that they won't get exposed. You don't know who's watching these videos, people. You do not know who are watching these videos. Now that guy just got exposed. I saw about 5 or 6 different people comment on that video and said, dude, this has already been done. So if you just doing it and it's by chance, a quote, I'm doing the air quote, coincidence, then I would take the video down, or I would make a follow-up video to it or something like that, to that nature, saying, look, and look at Sereno video bombing me. I would address it, because if you just ignore it and think that no one's gonna notice or who's gonna say anything, trust me, it's gonna get out. And I think the whole thing is corny, man. That's just me, truthfully speaking. I think the whole thing is corny. Alright, now me getting on this God of War, I use that for the, you know, actually is a good loop for the video, because God of War is probably one of the most imitated games ever of all time. The whole formula of certain video games that's come out after it has basically been like the whole engine, the way the gameplay is done. And there's a few games, you know, that's been done exactly like God of War, with the, you know, the orbs flying out, you getting generating health from beating your enemies. And one of those games would have to be this one here, Dante's Inferno. This game got such a bad rap after, you know, people started playing and saying, oh, this was just such a rip-off of God of War. Now, I think this was a damn good game, but the fact that they use so much stuff off of God of War, It just took away from the story and it took away from the gameplay. And this isn't the only one, so I don't want to get too much into this game. I just use it as a filler to say, look, it happens, well, albeit intentionally or unintentionally. Another game that was accused of ripping off God of War was Wolverine. You know, the game they came out with, you know, when they came out with based on the movie, the X-Men, what is it, Wolverine Legends, whatever it was called. That game did the exact same thing too. It didn't get the flack that this game right here did, but whatever. You know, getting raw instinct, man. It's got to suck. I've had it happen to me once before. I've seen someone on the wrestling games, you know, do certain stuff I did and try to use my intro and stuff like that. But I don't care. It's whatever. I talked to the person about it, and you know, he clearly denied it, of course. But it's whatever. It happens all the time. Now, when people say imitation and without competition, it's a difference between competition and just blatant, outright copycatting. Now, people say, like, take Pepsi and Coke. A lot of people say without Coke there would be no Pepsi. That's true, but Pepsi is just cola and it actually tastes different. I don't drink neither one, but everyone says they prefer Pepsi over Coke because it's a different taste. They didn't try to change, you know, make the name the same thing and everything else the same thing. They call themselves something completely different, and it's cola, and it's a lot of them. You have RC and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna give you a prime example, man. Now, one of the biggest and largest fast food places would be McDonald's, right? Now let's just say a local spot around your house. It could be called a mom and pop store. Let's just call it, I don't know, Leo's. Now Leo's can have the most slamming turkey burger known to man. They put all types of stuff on it. It just tastes exceptionally good. Now let's just say McDonald's decide to come out with a turkey burger, and they decide to come out with a turkey burger, and let's just say they call theirs the McGobble. Let's say McDonald's call their turkey burger the McGobble, and for the people that been to Leo's, they know they just blatantly ripped that off. It tastes exactly, I mean precisely like Leo's turkey burger, which whatever they name theirs. And it's happened before, but McDonald's has so many resources and it's so many locations that, let's just face it, there's a McDonald's on, like, within walking distance of everyone that's watching this video. It's definitely a McDonald's within like a 6 to 7 block radius. I know it is here in Chicago. There's so many of them, and I don't like the place because I think that food is overrated. It's for kids that don't know any better what good food is. So I use that as an example. I mean, they have so many resources. Who's gonna say anything? You know, who's gonna believe Leo's over McDonald's? You know, who's gonna believe it? So that's what happens with these bigger channels when they rip off smaller channels, and it's like you can't copyright it, you can't make them take the video down. So just give me your opinion on all this, people. I mean, imitation, is it a form of flattery, or is it just lack of originality? I'm out, man. Yep.